love learning new topics, but I've been finding it really challenging lately. Challenging in finding new sources for a particular topic, or finding different modes of learning like audio, visual, content. And finally, how do I combine different concepts and come up with something new and something different, a new way of thinking? So I tried something new. First, I create a study plan outline. I would ask ChatGPT or Cloud to give me an outline of a particular topic. What topic should I cover? And usually I break it down in 3 steps, so it helps me clearly define my study plan. Next, ask it to generate the actual material for a study. So you can expand on the section 1 or the chapter 1 that it may have given you, and ask 2 to 3 models to do that. So for example, ChatGPT or Cloud, ask them to generate. Over here you can see 2 of them giving me detailed responses of the material. The next step is pretty crucial. So find out PDFs, Wikipedia, or official sources that have written detailed write-up on them, because just using AI would also introduce hallucinations and biases, which is not something that you would want. Finally, you take all of these things and you put them in the best tool that's out there right now for generating a podcast, Google Notebook LM. So you start a new project, and on the left side, you can add all those text sources. So you copy paste each and everything from starting from the study material to the chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, and then generate the podcast. You may have to do this several times because I've noticed some podcasts are better than the others, but this gives you a really good starting point. And finally, study with the original source. So you have the podcast with you, the official PDF. In my example, I used this method to brush up my HIPPA Compliance, study, understanding the history, why it existed, what are the pitfalls and the myths surrounding it. And here's a sample of the podcast. Enjoy.
It's kind of unsettling to think about, but what if your most private medical info got out there, for anyone to see?
Yeah, it's definitely not just a what-if scenario.
No, not at all.
I mean, just look at that huge Anthem data breach, right?
Oh, right.
Boom, 79 million people's records just out in the open.
Crazy.
And the cost, north of $130 million in settlements and fines, just like that.
It's a good reminder that we're not just talking about abstract data here.
Right.
This is about people's lives, their health, their privacy.
Absolutely.
So welcome to the deep dive, everyone, where we take these really complex topics and we try to, pull out the stuff that really matters.
Exactly.
And today we're diving deep into HIPAA compliance. We're going to give you what you actually need to know. No fluff, no getting lost in the weeds.
Yeah, we want to make sure you understand HIPAA thoroughly and efficiently.
That's exactly right.
And that's our mission today. We're going to look at where it all started, why HIPAA even exists. Then we'll break down the core policies, what it actually means to be compliant, the practical stuff. And then, of course, there's a lot of myths and confusion around HIPAA. We're going to bust some of those too.
I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've been digging into legal stuff, real life cases. Some of these penalties are huge. Some are even criminal.
Yeah.
And we've got expert analysis too, all to give you a clear, practical understanding of HIPAA.
Exactly.
So, HIPAA, we hear it all the time in healthcare, but let's take a step back, right?
Yeah.
What was going on